there was nothing wrong with original Annie. I liked White Annie. There was nothing wrong with that. I wasn't like, damn, I sure wish there was a Black Annie.
Right. Because honestly, I didn't need to see myself, I didn't need to see myself projected in Annie, to be honest, right?
No.
I already know it's a hard knock life. I didn't need to see it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you didn't need to see that. But that's the thing is like,
I get you on that.
I hate the force stuff. And then on the backside,
we don't have to be even in everything.
No.
I get you on that.
You don't. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Deep MCs, the podcast that seeks to push meaningful conversation to a whole new level. Whether it's for your entertainment or your personal growth, we appreciate you being here today. And now, on to the show. What's going on, man? What's going on?
What's good, man?
Oh, we are back for another one.
Yes, sir.
Trying to get the music queued up just right. I feel like this episode, I'm gonna get really frustrated. but what are we gonna get into?
So today, man, we're gonna talk about, is representation that important?
Is representation that important? I gotta move my remote too, by the way. I'm sorry, guys, for the people who saw that on the TV. If you're listening, you didn't see it, and I shouldn't have said anything, but whatever. I was representing.
You was representing.
I was representing. I was so fired up, I couldn't even think straight. Is representation that important?
Yeah.
This is one that I've been thinking about for a while. I've kind of wanted to do for a while, and I know it's going to piss people off, and I'm okay with that. I am genuinely okay with people being upset at this one, because I think that a lot of time, when people see the subjects, they hear the topics, they form their own
personal opinion.
Yeah, their personal opinion on it, and I'm going to tell them all that they're wrong.
Here we go.
Here we go, man. Representation. I guess really what it is what does representation mean? And it means a lot of things. And I think that for the sake of time and not going 6 hours on this, because I can, we have to kind of focus on a few topics. But what is representation for a lot of times, or for a lot of people, if you will? And I think that it comes down to, being seen or being heard for what or who you are, right, or stand for, right, or believe in, etc.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel personally that we have gotten to a point where we're so tolerant of acceptance. We're so, I don't know if we're tolerant of acceptance or we're afraid of backlash. And maybe it's a little bit of both.
I
right?
think we've kind of we've made everything mainstream. Like we've created this open door, take the boats off the dam and just let everything flow.
Yes. And that pisses me off. I wish this filter wasn't here so you can get the whole pee in it. It pisses me off, man. Like it is so irritating. And I'm just gonna jump right in, but like it is so fucking irritating to me that everything has to be constantly represented. And I don't know if part of that is because I still feel that there's some issues that have been around longer that aren't being fully addressed, or that aren't being dealt with on a better basis, or brought up to current events, or the fact that just I'm tired of fucking seeing every damn thing. And like we kind of had conversations before, like we talk about TV shows, right? There was a point in time, like back in the day, especially, when things were more black and white, literally, right? There was always like, oh, there's never a representation of black people in the movies. There's never a representation of the Asian people. There's never representation of Chinese people, or whatever it is. And yeah, you're right. There wasn't, or there wasn't a representation of like we in dolls, right? There's no the black kids play with the white dolls because there was no black dolls.
There were no black dolls.
They don't have hair like mine. They don't whatever. And I get it, right? I get it. But at the same time, like, and this is coming from a black person, like, I don't always necessarily need that. And it is so frustrating now. Like, I can't watch a show now that doesn't have an interracial couple, a lesbian, a gay person, a transgender, black doing white things, white doing black things. Like they're literally trying to cram.
It's become this amalgamation of everything and everybody.
Shit. It is what it is. It's shit. And it pisses me off because, and I'm sorry, I'm getting fired up, but I'm so irritated because that's not life. And do I have anything against gay people? No. Some of my best friends are gay, and that's what, we're racist. I'm not racist. I have a black friend.
I have a black friend.
That's what I sound like right now.
Yeah,
but no, some of my friends, I have gay people in my family, and I still love them. I don't give a shit. I don't care who you love. I don't need to know about it. I don't care. Like, I don't care. That doesn't affect my life, right? It just doesn't. Do I care if you're transgender? No. You're going to be who you are, and I'm going to accept you for that. Like, I don't care. Do I care that you're black with a white person, white with a black person, Asian with a Mexican? I don't care.
But it's being forced on you.
Yes, it's being forced.
It's being forced.
And that's what's so irritating, is because we're becoming so tolerant that, like, that's not reality. Show me in real life. Maybe they exist, but I don't believe it's every home. If I go knock on 100 doors and those doors swing open, am I going to see an interracial couple with a gay son and a transgender daughter and a dog that's a cat and all this other crap? No. Like, that's not but that's what's being projected.
But I mean, you see it's the movements, right? It's those movements that are getting traction, that are because we see that in the media again.
Yes.
We talked about influence, and we talked about being aware, self-aware, and all of those kind of things. And one of the things I think we are seeing is that, it's the things that have the loudest voice are the things that are now being pushed into the media or pushed into before us, right? And because there's a loud voice around equality and all of these things, now here we are. But for me, my issue was that it was laced on the back of Black Lives Matter, or which has been an issue since slavery,
forever,
right? And so now it's being tacked onto that as if it's the same movement, or if it's a very similar idea.
Right.
Well, there's still a lot more to this one than that one, but what we see is the pushing and the movement of it in such a way that it forces you to say, forces you to pick a side, right?
It does force you to pick a side. But not only does it force you to pick a side, like, it's being the very same thing that you're trying, or you're saying that you're not, or you're saying that's being done to you. Like, you're doing the same thing. And that's what drives me fucking nuts. Because at the end of the day, like, I tell people all the time, and if you know me, like, I hate everybody. Let's just put that out there. If you're watching, I hate you. I appreciate that you're listening.
I don't believe it, but
appreciate. No, but I do. I fucking hate people. Like, I just want everybody. Like, I don't care what you are. I don't care what color you are, what gender you are, what you identify as, what genitalia you have. I don't care if you, like I said before, if you think that you're a fucking plant pot and you want to be buried up to your waist in fucking potting soil, I'm not going to carry the pot because that shit's heavy, but I will put the soil in for you if that's what you want. Like, I don't care what you are. I just don't, because it doesn't bother me. Like, that's your life. Live your life. I'm happy for you. I care when the shit is forced down my throat, because now, like, being tolerant is supposed to be accepting people for who they are, accepting people for what they represent. And being represented is being able to have the opportunity to be treated, not have the opportunity to be treated equal. That is what it is. It's not to be forced down the throats of people, because again, like, people have their own beliefs, people have their own things that they like, people have their own whatever. Like, you know what, I may want to watch a show of all white people. What if that I'm a black person, I want to watch, I want to watch Married with Children or Friends and not have to see,
Married with Children is pretty good.
Married with Children was good. I enjoyed it. I didn't think that, oh, this is a shame there's no black representation. Right. Like, why can't I just have my damn show and enjoy it for what it is?
Let's take this, man, because there was one thing I believe, because when we started talking about this, my thought immediately ran to like Black Panther.
Right. Oh God,
and it ran to
terrible movie.
I don't think it was that terrible.
Oh, I can't stand that movie. Oh,
see, we differ here, right? But when it comes to representation, I believe its success was based on the lack of representation. A lot of its success was based on the fact that there were no, other than white men and white women, there were no other superheroes represented anywhere else, right?
Yes.
So, I think its success was in the fact that there was now another level of representation from a superhero stance.
No, so for me, like, obviously I am a comic book nerd. Another thing that people don't really know. They don't expect that, right?
Yeah.
I am a superhero nerd.
Aficionado.
I wouldn't say I'm not great. I would love to be better at it. Okay. I'm getting there.
Gotcha.
I'm getting there. But the thing is like, me personally, was that my favorite Marvel movie?
No, I got it.
But, excuse me. And here's the thing though, is when we talk about that representation, you're right. It was a success from lack of representation. And this is going to split off into two different ways. The first thing that I have about it is that the people, and when we talk about these things, it is right. We talk about the loudest problem, right, is what gets pushed.
Yeah, right.
But a lot of the times,
the squeakiest wheel gets the oil.
A lot of the times, though, and that's the problem, is that the squeakiest wheel gets the grease. But on your car, there's 4 wheels.
Yeah.
So it's the minority. The one wheel that's the loudest gets the attention, but there's other wheels that need attention. And the people, when we talk about Black Panther, excuse me, the people that were complaining about the lack of representation in other white dominated movies, you weren't complaining when it was a black dominated movie. Like,
but that's the only one though.
Yeah, I know that.
This is the only one.
But still, because here's the thing, right? It's going to go the other way. But here's the thing is that regardless of the fact, like, I'm not saying that it's not a wonder for being able to have all this. Like, I do appreciate that. But it's that thing where you can't, like, you're not being consistent in your complaints. You should be consistent, and it shouldn't be, I'm mad because there's an all white movie, but I'm not mad because there's an all black movie. Like, it's still at the root of it, there's still lack of representation, and it should be about being equal. And it doesn't matter if it's white or black.
Do we have to be? I don't know if we have to be equal.
No, it doesn't
have to be equal.
It doesn't have to be equal. I'm saying the complaint should be equal. Like, if you're gonna make a complaint, right? Like, if I'm gonna say,
but what if the complaint is that we're not represented?
But then
zero. But
the backside of that though, right? And this is the thing with Black Panther, is that it wasn't. There's no lasting, like, that representation was a fad. Because I know if you watch the movie, and I fucking hated hearing it, dude. Do you know how Wakanda Forever?
Yeah,
they were shouting that shit for a hot minute, and then when it wasn't cool no more, then you just go back to living your life. You're not fighting for that representation anymore. You're not Wakandaing forever.
Well, I think
anymore.
The thing is we one of the things I do believe we do, right, as a culture, is we check the box.
Yes.
Okay, so we fought for it. We fought for it. Now there's another thing we need to fight for. Check that box and let's go on to the next thing.
Yeah, and that's what's irritating. But that, and again, that's why we have this
Right.
podcast,
Right.
is because we want to keep those conversations going that need to be there, and that's what pisses me off, because representation on the backside of that is it's a tool.
But hold
that
on, you did see him show up in what was the next one, where they were all together. You know, because I'm not as buff like you.
No, I mean, yeah, but it was less of a representation, right? It was
but he was represented.
Yeah, he was represented.
He was finally there, right?
And that's fine. And God forbid, I mean,
and then part 2 is coming.
Poor guy, he died, right?
Of course.
So it's unfortunate, Chadwick. Rest in peace, man. But like, so that is unfortunate that happened. But there was representation, and for that, I am stoked for it, and I'm okay seeing. Excuse me, the representation in that form, because I feel that is equal representation. I feel that the people are there, and that's the thing about representation, because representation, it gets wielded like a weapon. It gets wielded to fit whatever people's needs. So when I talk about the fairness aspect of it, like, Marvel is not real world.
Yeah, right.
Some people believe that shit is real, but it's
right.
It's not, right?
Right?
But the fact that there's a black superhero, you have an Asian superhero, you have a white superhero, you have the all the races are represented,
right.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
I can look at that and be like, that is awesome. It's a rainbow of people fighting for the common good, right? Or whatever the situation is. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's how I would love the world to be, a perfect, beautiful world, right? But then on the backside of that, there is the weaponized representation, or the forced representation, or the representation of things that we're doing it because we don't want to get any backlash to say we're not. Like, there's so many, like, and then there's also some things that, okay, like, and I use this example too, and I don't care if people get fucking mad. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm fired up right now, right? Or I'm getting fired up. One of the things that pissed me off, like when we first started talking about representation and whatever, the movie Annie.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
There was white Annie. And then black Annie with Jay-Z and all this other bullshit, right?
That wasn't what? It was Jamie Foxx?
Yeah.
It was Jamie Foxx.
It's Jamie Foxx. But I think Jay-Z did like the scoring or something. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Anyway, but the whole point, Annie
I didn't need another one.
Exactly.
I agree with you on that. I didn't need a second Annie.
But that's what pisses me off, and that's what people are, oh, look at us, we're being represented. Like, I did not need that.
My wife pulled up the Wonder Years.
Yeah, and the remake with the all black version. I don't need that.
I didn't need a second. My mom. Second Steel Magnolias with Queen Latifah.
Didn't need that.
I didn't need that.
And that's what pisses me off. And that's where I say it gets weaponized, or it gets used as whatever, because there was nothing wrong with original Annie. I liked white Annie. There was nothing wrong with that. I wasn't like, damn, I sure wish there was a black Annie.
Right. Because honestly, I didn't need to see myself, I didn't need to see myself projected in Annie, to be honest, right?
No.
I already know it's a hard knock life. I didn't need to see it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you didn't need to see that. But that's the thing, is like, I
get you on that.
I hate the force stuff. And then on the backside,
we don't have to be even in everything.
No.
I get you on that.
You don't,
Yeah.
But then on the backside, if I take it the other way, there's gonna be a fence that's taken, and that's what bothers me about representation. So again, like, going back to like being gay, whatever the reason is, right? I love my gay people. I enjoy being around them. It is also, I would love to do a gay episode, because I think lesbians and gay people, they don't get along for whatever reasons, right? Guys and girls, like, for whatever, it's crazy, the world that it lives in. People know what I'm talking about if you live in that world. But the thing about it is, like, okay, do they need to have some representation? Yes, I think that they do, because that is something, that is a lifestyle, not in a lifestyle, but like, people, you are what you are, and you deserve to have a voice in that, right? But if I was to go the opposite round and be like, if I was to make a show, right, and we have a gay character, and then I make a show and I'm the straight guy and I walk around all day saying, God damn, I love pussy, my dick, like people are going to be like, that's offensive. That's not okay. Why can't I be represented as a straight man that loves to fuck? Right? But you know what I'm saying? Like, why can't I be represented as that? Why can't I drive home? And the thing about it too, like another thing is like vegans, right? They say, how can you tell someone's a vegan? You don't have to. They're going to fucking tell you, right? Because they're fucking annoying about it, right? But no one's being like, they need to be represented. No, they're like, shut the fuck up. I'm tired of seeing that. I'm tired of hearing it. Like we're being selective with what we want to represent according to what we feel suits our needs.
Well, I think it's the hot topic at the moment, right? And I think when things die out, then they're no longer profitable. And I really do believe that is built in the profitability of a lot of those kind of things, right?
100%.
I mean, because when it comes down to representation for me, man, it's there's some things that I think were vital for me, right? One is these weren't comparisons to another one. They were just showing me life, because we talked about it before. I didn't identify with Boys in the Hood or New Jack City. I mean, good movies full of black characters, but I didn't grow up like that.
Right.
Far from it, right? I identify more with the Cosbys.
Right.
Right? 2-parent household.
Not the raping, but right, like he was drugging people, which we know is not. Dog.
I'm talking about the show.
I know that, but representation, right?
Yes, I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
I identified with what I knew of the show.
Yes.
Not the background
not
information
his
that was
background.
happening.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So the show, and then the one that really changed my life, that really excited me, was A Different World. Because that gave me a view of me, right?
Right.
My dad had gone to a HBCU. So I had that connection, and I saw this and I saw that, and I could identify, right?
Yes.
And it didn't have to connect to any other show. It didn't have to connect to, but it was specific to me, and I was able to see it, and that was great.
Yes. And that's what it's about. And I think that's where we lose it and what it's about, and we focus too much on, like you said, checking boxes or trying to be, want to be PC or whatever, what's going to make the most money. But it's also frustrating because in that representation, we're doing things that we shouldn't do. And so like this is another, and I use a lot of shows because it's easier for people to,
yeah, of course, we can identify with those,
right? Because you can see them or whatever.
Yep.
So there's this show on Netflix, and I watch. So people don't know, if I'm ever in like a work mode, or I'm trying to accomplish things, or like I'm focused on doing something, like I'll put a show on and let it run, because like I need it's almost like that white noise.
It's white noise. Yeah. I got you.
While I'm doing what I need to do. Anyway, so there's a show on Netflix that's an animated show, and it's called Q-Force. It's an adult animation, and I don't know what it was. Like I don't know. Like I never really watched the trailer or whatever it was. Like I just saw the thing. I was like, okay, I'll put that on. Like that's a good white noise show, whatever. So anyway, the whole point of the show is it's like a spy agency, whatever. And Wanda Sykes is in it, and like a couple other people, right?
Okay.
So it's a spy agency, and a branch of that spy agency is all gay. Okay. Like just every iteration of, like if you're a person that doesn't like gay people, which first of all, fuck you, you're an asshole. But if you're a person that doesn't like gay people because they're gay, and you think of like what is a gay stereotype, this show. But the thing is this show is made by gay people.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And so where I have a problem, like I put the show on because I have no problem with gay people or whatever else. And honestly, it was entertaining.
Okay.
It accomplished what it needed to do. Is it my favorite show? Am I waiting for season 2, 3, 4? I mean, I'll probably watch it, not gonna lie, but like I'm not waiting for it to come out.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. But the problem though is if
you had done
if
that.
I made that show.
Yeah. Dave Chappelle, if you made the show.
If Dave Chappelle made the show, if I made the show, that's a wrap.
Gotcha.
That's a wrap.
But you know what? Don't we all do that though?
I mean,
each particular group.
But that's the thing, and that's what I want to get away from. And that's why I say I fucking hate everybody. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm black and I fucking hate black people. I'm saying it right here, right? I hate fucking, y'all get on my fucking nerves sometimes. I hate fucking white people, y'all are ass. I hate everybody. Everybody's getting it. I give it to myself, so I'm damn sure gonna give it to everybody around me. And I say that in jest, right? Because the thing about it is, to me, everybody is equal. And a lot of people don't view that.
But it's not true, though. That's not true.
I mean, not
so from your standpoint, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, from my standpoint.
From your standpoint, I got you.
And what I mean by equal, I'm not saying that we're all, because there are people that are better than others, not gonna lie. But what I mean is, no matter what you are, if you come to me with a problem, I'm gonna listen.
You have a level playing field when it comes to that.
If you come to me with you want to know something, I'm gonna. And
it doesn't matter who you are.
It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you identify as. And I'm gonna treat you like I treat everybody else. You all have a fair shot in my book until you show who you really are. And if you're a bad person, you're just a bad person. It doesn't matter your color, race.
So you have no biases towards any particular.
No, I do. I definitely do. I have biases. Like, we've had conversations before. Like, I can't stand Africans. I can't. I'm sorry, Africans. I know we got listeners in South Africa. I'm so sorry, but I can't. Or let me rephrase.
Yeah. Clean it up.
I can't stand Americanized Africans. I just can't. And I think that everybody. And what I say by this is that everybody, and this will kind of loop back to representation. Everybody has within their own race a branch of people that they don't like but can't say why. And what I mean by that, and I'm not perfect at this, and if you guys are out there, if you're out there and you have better ideas and whatever collaborations, please tell me. But like, you look at the difference between a Spanish person and a real Hispanic Mexican. Like, Spanish people think they're better than Mexicans because, whatever. Africans think they're fucking better than black people, like regular American black people. They just think that they're fucking better. The same thing, like, when I'm, the last job, like, Indians. I have an Indian manager, a female Indian manager, and other Indian people treat her like shit. Like, they're like, you guys are pretty much the same, and you look down on whatever. And for me, even like, people know that I hate Florida. Oh my God, I hate Florida. I'm sorry for everybody's listening in Florida. I fucking hate Florida.
You have a whole lot of sorries in this one.
Yeah, there's a lot. Well, in all honesty, I'm not fucking sorry. I really don't give a shit. I'm not going to change my opinion. But like, even going to Florida, right? Here I am. You talk about boys in the hood, you talk about all this stuff, and like, you didn't grow up like that, right?
Right.
I grew up in California, where a lot of people hate fucking California.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my home. It's still not the best, but that's where I'm from. And we do things a certain way out there. We dress a certain way, we talk a certain way, we carry ourselves a certain way. Being in Florida, when I came to Florida, I got so many questions. Like, so many people would challenge me. Like, and when I say people, black people would challenge me. Like, they want to challenge my gangster. They want to challenge who the fuck I am. Like, oh, look at this guy. He's clean cut. I had hair back then, if you can believe it. He's clean cut. He works out. He must be gay because I don't have dreads. I don't have gold teeth. I'm not sagging my pants all the way down to it. Like, motherfucker, I will crack your fucking head open. You don't know me. But you're gonna challenge me, and then when you see like, this guy's not playing around, then it changed. But to them, I wasn't black. Like, you're not. And then people would tell me, you ain't a real nigga. You ain't got, like, who the fuck, dude? Who do you think you are? Because I'm not represented how they view what that should look like. Yeah, being what it should look like. And that's what pisses me off, because, and this whole thing is saying, like, I've been judged by my own people because I'm not what they feel I should be. And how fucked up is that? Like, we're supposed to be in this together and you're going to judge me. And so, yeah, so I do have biases when it comes to that because I've had bad experiences, right?
I got you.
And that carries around. That's for the same reasons why you have these white people that hate black people. They've had bad experiences, some of them, and they continue to portray that and give that to the next generation or whatever the situation because of that bad experience, and there's no clarification. And do I need to get better at that? Yes. Am I saying every African is a terrible person? No, they're not. And a lot of them deserve a good chance, but there's a lot of them out there that won't get past their own biases. So if you're not willing to get past your own bias, fuck you. I'm not going to get past mine. Like if you
so yours is based on, so the fact that you're not going to get past your bias is based on them not getting past theirs.
Yeah, but that's what I mean though, because like, can I have a positive interaction with an African? Yes, I've had lots of them.
Of course.
But when you start to show your bias and you start to act a certain way, and that's with anybody. That's why I say, like, I treat everybody equally until the
evidence will prove itself.
Until it proves itself.
Yeah,
right? And that's where you'll lose me, and I ain't going back. Like, you're crossed off in my book
forever.
Until you change your ways, because I feel that everybody.
Would you be open to a change though? Like once you, you know what I'm saying, and you've created this clear thought.
For sure.
How much is it going to take to come back and change your mind?
It's going to take a significant shift, right? No, but okay, but that's the thing, right? So like we talk.
And I'm not asking you to change your mind.
No. I mean, no, but that's the thing is that I'm not saying that I wouldn't, but I definitely need to be more open to changing my mind.
My question is, how open are you to change?
And we all should be. Right now, no, it takes a significant shift, right? And we've had conversations when it comes to representation in a lot of ways throughout. I mean, how we carry ourselves or expectations or whatever, that plays a huge role in people's overall perception.
Yeah,
representation and perception are kind of
right.
They're hand in hand, and I feel until we see a significant shift in those areas, people, I mean, not just myself, but people are always going to form opinions, but that's when it comes down to a case-by-case scenario, right? Because when I say I hate this, I'm speaking in general, because I haven't met. Have I met everybody in Florida?
Yeah, of course.
No. Have I met every African in the world? No. Right. Have I met every white person in the world? No. But, we talk about stereotypes, right? Like, stereotypes are stereotypes because it's a majority. It's not everybody, but it's a majority. And there is some truth. Like, there's always some truth to those things. And a stereotype is a representation, and we just have to, like, it all goes full circle back to how do we view representation, right? Because people say representation is a good thing, but then when you talk about stereotypes are bad. You shouldn't stereotype, right? But okay, well, is it good or is it bad?
Yeah, I mean, right. You can't. if you squeeze an orange, you get juice out of all of the segments, right? You can't squeeze an orange and expect to only get juice out of this segment of it, right? So when you go to squeeze it, all 8 segments or 10 segments of whatever it is, when you squeeze it, all of the juice comes from every angle of it, right?
It's a beautiful analogy.
And so yeah, here we are, right? So when you squeeze the orange of this culture, right? When you squeeze it, then you get all of the juice. And you can't say that, okay, I want to be represented here, but don't touch that, because that makes me look bad. Only show the Cosbys, but don't show what was happening backstage. Only show a different world. But you know what I'm saying? And so I get it. I fully understand it. It's just that at some point, yes, we have two things. We got to deal with what's happening backstage from an internal perspective, right? Within us, we need to, because people always say, oh, all of this is happening. The argument I'm so tired of hearing is, what are you guys doing about, you talk about police brutality, but you're killing each other over here.
Yes.
Well, hell, go to every culture. And everybody typically kills within their culture, right?
Yes. Yes.
Let's just be clear. the truth of the
white
matter
folks
is,
love to be serial killers and kill some white folks.
and kill white folks, right?
know.
You're not finding us in the basement with 10 other, that's just not happening, right?
No, ain't no
Not generally.
skinning, right? And wearing,
Right, we're not
people's
doing that.
faces and everything. No.
So within cultures, right, we have these, these things that we all need to deal with kind of backstage.
Yes.
Right. And we don't want those portrayed. I think the problem is that sometimes what's happening backstage is presented more for others than not.
Yes.
Right. So it
Yes.
becomes the thought process that this is who they are because you took my backstage, but you didn't show what was happening up front.
Exactly.
And I think that's the part of it. You've tried to separate the juice.
Trying to separate, you can't.
You know what I'm saying? And you're only showing what's happening back here, and that's not the truth.
Exactly.
That's not the truth. And so then a Black Panther is such a hit, even though it, from a Marvel standpoint, from your standpoint, may not have been the best movie, but it's such a hit because now it contradicts some of this other juice y'all been spreading.
Yeah. No, I mean that hits the nail on the head, man. And it's exactly what it is, And while you're saying that, I was thinking, like, it also makes me wonder too, because, like, I think people's perception of representation is always changing, or it's always masked by some other major event or some other big thing that pops up or steers the conversation, because, like, I feel like people get these things in their head and they neglect or they forget to acknowledge the things that we do have. And what I mean, like, here we go, going back to like TV, and then too, like, at what point are you responsible for representation, and what point are you holding other people responsible to do the representation? And I use TV a lot, right? Because TV was like the first thing that everybody could see at the same time, right? Okay, well, first and foremost, right? I say and first and foremost, like, if somebody wants to make a show about all white people or all Black people or what, first of all, you're not paying to make the show.
Right.
It ain't your fucking money. Right. So who are you to tell? And granted, like, they say, oh, well, it's entertainment, they should cater to us all. Okay, well, fine. And I understand that. But at some point too, making a product to give to people is expensive. And if you are us small business owners or people out there if someone came to you and said you need to represent this and this and this and this and this, and your budget right now is just trying to get something off the ground,
right,
are you an asshole because you didn't represent those people? You're going to be treated like one because you're not representing those people. But
so you say that, right? Even in the business that we have currently that we're working on,
yes,
right, there's only certain amount of products that we could put in.
Only so much. We can't do it all.
We can't do them all.
But you're going to be treated like an asshole because you're not doing them all, right? And that's what pisses me off about representation too. And where it says, it gets loaded. And also too, like, you look at things when we talk about TV, like, we talk about, we haven't been, like, as Black people, right? We haven't been represented this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 and we need to have this, and we need to have that, and they get this, and they get that. Okay, but are you guys forgetting good times? Are you guys forgetting Family Matters? Are you guys how many Black shows can we, Sanford and Son? Can we, Martin, how many Black that have been out for a long fucking time where we have had representation? You're not acknowledging that. You're still saying, well, we're not being seen.
Yeah, because not Sanford and Son. The Jeffersons was they were higher end.
Yeah, they were moving on up to the east side to deluxe.
That's not them.
It's not. But I'm saying, you know what I'm trying to say. But the thing is they were doing well.
They were doing well.
So we had representation. Sanford and Son was in the junkyard, right? Yeah, right. Fat out.
But you know what? He was an entrepreneur though.
He was, and he was doing his damn thing.
Yeah, right.
And he had a heart attack every damn day. But the thing is that there was real
representation.
representation out there.
It took some work to get there.
It took a lot of work
to get it there.
but we have consistent. But that's what pisses me off, right? Is because
we don't have any.
They look at they look at Black Panther and they're like, finally we are First of all you motherfuckers that are saying finally we are represented don't know even shit about Africa. Half of you motherfuckers think Wakanda was a real place.
Well, so man, it's funny because even though you have this disdain for Africans, right? one of the things that I had a friend of mine, and he's Nigerian, and he said he never watched Coming to America and never watched Black Panther, and I was like, why? And he was
real.
He was like, because that's not because it was representing him in a way that was so unreal that he got offended. Right?
Yeah.
So this was a US version of what we felt like it was, right? So we had US'd it. We had
put our own spin.
We had put our own spin on it. And he hated the fact, that you had this Coming to America. I mean, one of my favorite shows. Right? It doesn't matter what channel it comes on. Yeah. If it's on, I'm gonna watch it.
You're gonna watch it,
from whatever place it is in it. I'm gonna watch it, right? And he hated it. He said, I've never watched it. When part 2 came out, disgusted.
Not even gonna
consider it, right? Because here you have, this, she's walking and holding her hands on one leg. It's like, no, man, that's not it.
Okay, but then you need to ask him, when is he going to be open? Right? You over here asking me.
He said that's not his representation. He's not going to watch it.
And that's the thing though too, right? It all just spins, and it is frustrating, right? Like, and I could completely see where he's coming from, and I'd be pissed off too, because that's not what it is, and we're saying that's what it is, and that's the thing though too, and we just lose.
So I'm upset with like Love and Hip Hop.
Oh God, don't even get me.
I'm disgusted, with stuff like that. Cause I was like, okay,
it's not, but there's a fascinating Love and Hip Hop, Real Housewives, Atlanta, all that other stuff. And it's not just Black representation, it's representation for those shows. And I get that people like drama, people like craziness, and
so what it says is that we hold it. Like, we hold the bowl of drama.
Yes.
Because those are the highest shows on Bravo. The Atlanta Housewives is one of the biggest. Out of all of the housewives.
It's terrible. And that's what makes me mad too, because we talk about, and here, like I said, this episode goes down so many paths and avenues, because you think about that, and those same people that are in these shows, I'm not saying this specifically Real Housewives of Atlanta, but any show that centers around something like that, they will be the first ones, not necessarily all the time, but they're usually the first ones hollering or trying to say, we need to be represented, we need to be doing, okay, well, what are you doing for a positive representation?
What are you doing with that platform?
Of what we are. You can't play both sides of the fence. You can't feed the foolishness because it's getting you the check. And then people say, oh, no worry, go ahead, get your bag, do what you got to do, whatever. But you're also not putting something positive to that representation.
There was one of them on one of the housewives, and she was very active in kind of, because my wife watches them all, right? So I'm, this time we spend together.
Right, watching the shows.
Right? Yeah. And so she was active and engaged in a lot of the protests and, George Floyd and all of those kind of things. And she used her platform and even her radio station to really bring more kind of consciousness to the activism and those kind of things, right?
Don't even get me started on that. Right.
For me, it seemed as though, she was using it for a more
sincere, positive, supposedly. Right, but
for a more positive
they
result,
all
right?
seem sincere when.
But she was the only one doing it.
Well, of course.
Out of the 10 that were there, right?
That just means she was more business, financial savvy, right? But then the other side of that too is, which I don't get, like those shows that are like that, which I also, when you want to talk about representation, like those shows aren't they're not real representation. Period.
Full representations, yeah.
But at the same time,
they're still edited
they're edited.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're also situations that the mass majority of us can't comprehend. We don't have that much money.
Yeah, right.
We don't have
that influence.
I'm sorry you're having so much drama in your 10 bedroom, your 10 bedroom home.
Yeah,
like seriously, like you can only relate so far. And again, it's not a real representation. Like at the end of the day, no matter how hard we try, there is no real representation. There just isn't. Because we're all, like I said, we sit at this table together as friends, as brothers, the whole nine. We're two completely different fucking people. How many other people out there? Like everybody's different.
Yeah, of
You're
course.
never gonna be represented. You can see elements
Yeah.
of yourself,
Right.
But you're never gonna be represented. And to possibly accommodate every single situation,
I got you.
like that shit is fucking tiring.
Yeah, I mean it's exhausting, right? To figure out that you have to be on, with all of these different variables at all times. That's unrealistic, right? That's not realistic.
It's not realistic, but that's the expectation. If I'm gonna produce any type of whatever, I better make sure I represent every facet. Man, fuck that. Like at the end, fuck that. Do you want to watch this shit or not? Like, enjoy it for what it is. Enjoy it for the story. Enjoy it for the action. Enjoy it for whatever. Like, who gives a shit what someone's identity is, or if every race is there, or if there's an interracial family, or if there's same-sex couples, or like, who gives a shit? Let me just enjoy it.
I mean, because part of it, bro, part of it is, and I don't have any issues with, I believe everybody's life is their life, right? And
Exactly.
you're going to live it the way you want to live it, right? And whatever causes you to shift, change, or be indifferent is your path. And the thing that begins to aggravate me is all I see is black men. A lot of the black men that are represented now are gay. And it's that response to me is like, so what do we do with that, right?
It's polar opposites.
Polar opposite, right?
Yeah, you go from gang banging to just banging.
It's all over here. Stupid.
That's just what it is.
Oh man.
And
okay.
And I have nothing against that, right? It does mean, like 50 Cent show Power. They wrote, was it Power?
Yeah,
they wrote a
Power.
gay character in there, right?
Which one?
To one of the sons. I don't remember. Whatever his name. I'm terrible at names. It is what it is. I don't care. Like, but at the same time, like we are forcing, and not just gay.
So on Disney Channel, here it is on Disney Channel, right? And we were watching Disney Channel. My son's watching Disney Channel, and that's not something I'm just promoting, right? So if you're not gonna put African American history into a school, then don't put,
Yeah.
And here we are, we're watching Disney Channel and we're watching these shows, and again, it's being forced, right? It was being forced because now this one of the guys on the show is now, and I started to see the shift, right? They're already setting it up for him to, and my son is 10, right? So there's a vulnerability there. You're seeing it unconsciously unfold, and you're making it easy, right?
Yes.
You're making it the norm. You're making it the things, but no, it's not the norm. It doesn't have to be. You don't force that on me.
Exactly, and that's the thing, right? Is there's nothing wrong, and that's a whole nother episode when it comes to genders and identities and things like that. Like who you are, who you love, who you choose to be, like that is in you. And I'm not saying that those people are not legitimate in their feelings, because they are. But I also know a lot of motherfuckers out there that are very easily influenced and will buy into whatever
the new thing is.
And we're so quick to push that on them.
Right.
Like you can create, like, I mean, fuck, growing up, my mom used to fucking love to put her wigs on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I would play in them and do whatever. Did that mean that now you need to start calling me they and changing this, that? I was a fucking kid.
Right.
Like I just did kid shit.
You didn't have to have a label at that point,
no,
right?
I was just me. Let me be whoever. Did that stay something that I continue to do? Fuck no. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But like I grew into who I am because that's who I'm supposed to be, right? But we can't continue for, and that's the thing, is we force these things, whether it's sex or gender or race or whatever. It's very unfortunate because when it comes to representation, we do force things down people's throats. Yeah. But if we were to, depending on what the hot button topic is, if we were to force something else, you're a bad person for forcing that. How dare you? But because this is cool, or this is trendy, or this is what we should do, it's okay. Like, no, you're still forcing something on some. It doesn't, and it's not just that. Fuck, even in the church, people fucking do it. God, people, ooh. Bible shaking ass motherfuckers like force shit on people. That pisses me off too. You know, I just allow people to believe what they want to believe, allow people to do what they want to do, treat people fair, don't look down upon them because they're a different race, a different religion, a different skin color, a different sexuality, whatever. We're all people. We all have the ability to be great. We all have the ability to be fucked up. We all have the ability to make mistakes. We all have the ability to correct mistakes. We all have the ability to change. Like, there's nothing in there that makes, you know, where we look down on people automatically just because. And we're getting to that point where we're being so tolerant, we're intolerant. Like, at some point, somebody's gotta pump the brakes here, you know, in things. And we are pushing people to a point of now you have to be like, if going back to like my situation in Florida, right? Like, if I was to stay in Florida at that time and I wanted to be accepted as a black person, I needed to be this black. Otherwise I'm not. Now, if someone wants to be gay, you better be all the way, you know, or if somebody wants to do, you better commit. Like, and the boundary keeps going further. How far do you have to go? How far do you have to go before people accept, like, whatever? And like, that just is just aggravating because you're pushing people to do things that would never be. You know, or even like, you know, we talk about like the African American movement or like whatever. Like, there was a point in time, right? If you're black, I mean, you rock your hair natural and have an afro and put a pick in it, and like I sweat too goddamn much. First of all, even when I had hair, I cut the shit damn near off. Right. That doesn't mean that I'm not for the cause. It's just not for me.
And you know what? I've seen some. There's been everybody can't rock a natural. They just leave it there. You know what I'm saying? The natural isn't for everybody.
It is,
and you have to be okay with your decision.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Bob Marley did dreads very well. Not everybody can do.
Everybody can't do that. Everybody can't. You know. Man. Some you need to get the perm. It's okay. It's okay. They still make them. Go get one.
Yes, it's okay. And you're still going to be you.
Yeah.
Just enjoy being who you are.
Right.
Treat everybody with fairness. Right. We are all in this together to be better people, to grow together, to learn about each other, to learn about each other's differences, and enjoy. There is beauty and comfort in being unique.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
I like that, man. Cause sitting here thinking, listening to you there, right? And when we talk about representation, if I come to the table as me and I present the truth of who I am, then I'm fully represented.
100%.
I'm fully represented at that moment, right? If I'm not trying to hold it back and trying to appease you by this or do this because that's what's this or that, then at the end of the day, I come to the table fully represented, you know, and now I'm showing, you know, the truth of who I am. And if the seeds that I produce, the fruit that I produce, if it's something that people will enjoy, then they'll follow that. They'll see that, and they'll see a different type of representation from that.
Yes.
You know, and it doesn't have to be force fed. Let people pick an apple if they want to. They may like an orange, you know, but let them pick up the fruit that they want to, and we can kind of go from there.
Leave it there. Leave it with the fruit. I love it.
Yeah. I'm ready to play now. Put me in the game now. I came here to prove it. I'm ready to do it. I can't be afraid.